Okay, everyone, welcome to our community zoning information meeting. We'll get started here. Okay, so we're trying something a little bit different today. And so we're letting people log into the meeting live. So the link to the Zoom meeting is posted on our city CZIM webpage. It's also here if you would like to take a screenshot. We have a few rules of engagement for everyone, the applicants and the public. Please remain muted until it's your turn to speak. Please be respectful, talk to people the way that you would want someone to talk to you. And please keep your questions and comments relevant to the cases that we're discussing at this meeting tonight. So our first case is Z2213 and CV225, and I apologize. I know that the presentation and agenda are posted on the website, and I forgot to add the concurrent variances to those, but we'll talk about them today. So the applicant is seeking a rezoning from OI to M1 for a warehouse. This site is actually located along Fulton Industrial Boulevard. And the applicant is also seeking two concurrent variances due to some of the topography issues and the way that the site is shaped. So they're asking for a variance to reduce the rear yard buffer from 100 feet to 50 feet. And they're also asking for a variance to allow storage in the front yard. The future land use for this site is actually commercial center. And so if this is approved, it will require future land use change. And here is an example of the site plan. So this site is shaped a little funny. It's shaped like kind of like a bow. So this is going to remain zone C1 here. And then this is going to be the industrial zoning. And it has a strange shape a little bit, and it looks like there's a stream back on both sides of it. And so the entrance is going to be on Fulton Industrial. There's going to be a fire turnaround, and then here's the warehouse. We'll take a look at some of the maps together. So this is Fulton Industrial Boulevard. I believe this is Campbellton Road. And then here's the zoning map. You can see it kind of has industrial zoning, or this is the future land use map. You can see that it kind of has industrial around it. Everything gray is industrial, everything yellow is residential, red is commercial, and purple is mixed use. So this is the future land use. And as you can see, the future land use is red. That means it has a commercial future land use. And in order for this to get rezoned to industrial, we would have to do a future land use change. And then over here we can see that it's currently zoned OI. The property extends a little bit this way, so only up to like about right here is what they're planning to do to M1. And we haven't done our staff reports or our analysis on these yet. The community zoning information meeting is just honestly an opportunity for us to discuss what was submitted and kind of do a presentation to the community. And I believe the applicant is on the call. Did the applicant want to add anything?
Hey, Marissa, this is Henry Bailey, counsel for the applicant. We don't want to add anything. I think you did a wonderful job of presenting the request.
Okay, great. So did we have any questions on this application from anyone? Yep, I don't think we have any questions on this one, so we'll move on to our next case. Our next case is Z2214. This is actually a case that we heard last year. It was withdrawn by the applicant and then resubmitted. And they want to rezone from NG1 to M1 for a warehouse also. The future land use for this one is industrial. And so if this application is approved, then it won't require a future land use change because it's already in compliance. We'll go ahead and go over the site plan. So this one is on the border with the city of College Park, I believe, or East Point. And only this part that's highlighted in red is actually going to be rezoned. The rest of this is actually in another jurisdiction. So only this red part is what's in the city of South Fulton. And only this red part is what's zoned AG1 right now. The rest of this is that industrial park across the street from Camp Creek Marketplace. And so here is a aerial map. There's Campbell Drive here, and it's just this one parcel, but all of these other parcels, I think, are in the jurisdiction of East Point. And then again, looking at the future land use map, the future land use for this site is industrial. And then right now you can see the zoning is right now AG1. And I think the applicant is on the call for this one, Mr. Rothman.
Yes, good evening, Marissa. That was a great description. If there's questions, I'll stay on and happy to answer, but I think that's a good description of our application.
Okay, does anyone have questions or comments on this one? Okay. Well, we can move on to our next one then.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So our next request is a request for a variance. It's located at 1001 Great Southwest Parkway. And this is like a side road off of the Fulton Industrial Corridor. And the applicant wants a variance to exceed the maximum building height. In M1, the current maximum building height is 100 feet. And the applicant is actually wanting to extend the building height to 115 feet. And they also wanted to change the allowed building materials as it stands right now. Excuse me, as it stands right now, the Fulton Industrial Overlay doesn't allow metal building materials on industrial buildings. But I suppose given the height of the building, anything else might present a challenge. So the applicant is also wanting to allow metal materials. The future land use isn't as relevant for variance requests, but as you can see, the future land use for this one is industrial since it's in a major industrial corridor. This is a site plan of where it is. I think there's an entrance here off Great Southwest Parkway. And then this is Fulton Industrial Boulevard, so it's at the intersection. There's some parking around the side of it. And it looks like there's some screening along Great Southwest, but not really along Fulton Industrial. And see, here's another image of the site. And then you can see that the future land use is industrial. And then you can see that the current zoning is industrial also. And I have a quick question for the applicant. I wanted to ask, is this an existing facility that is being expanded?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Marissa. So Marissa, I did want to show that exhibit that you have right there is the existing vegetation map. That's like for landscaping. That is not the site plan for the expansion. And I'm happy to share that if I'm allowed to share my screen.
Yeah, why don't you send that to me and I'll double check. I thought that we had the right one.
Sure. Do you want me to share my screen now, or do you want just to, I can just send you it as well.
All right, that'll work. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're expanding some into this area here.
There is some, yeah, and so I'm sorry, Marissa, did you want me to be able to share it? It's blocked for me sharing.
Yeah, I wanted you to send me the site plan again.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'll just send you my presentation because I have that pulled up, and then you can pull the site plan up from there.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that, I misunderstood you. But
so do you want to give us an overview of what you're doing?
Sure.
Maybe tell us how far you're expanding it?
Sure, definitely. Let me send you this. I'm going to send you the variance presentation right now, and then you can look at it and all. There you go. So what the purpose of this expansion, there's an existing facility there. That's what you are showing in your site plan that you have pulled up. And what they're doing is expanding the building. So right now in the front where you show that there's a parking lot in front of the building. That's where a new building is going. That's going to be the exceed the maximum district height. It's going to go to 115. It's for an automated storage and racking system. So this is adding additional storage capacity to this building. And that area that's where you were showing where there's some tree cover, that's going to be additional proposed trailer parking, or 18-wheeler parking in that part of the development. So that's what the expansion is. And so the variances that we're requesting is for this new building to go over 100 feet, to go to 115, and to allow for different building materials on that structure since it's going to be so tall.
Okay. Do you know what types of building materials they're going to put there? Was it aluminum or vinyl?
I think it's going to be metal material, but there'll be so it's a light, like the porcelainized metal, and then it can have different textures on it. When we come for the variance hearing, we'll have elevations that show what the materials will look like. And then we have a community meeting planned for this Thursday night, and we'll have the elevations ready for that community meeting as well.
Okay, great. I think those will be helpful for the material variance so that we can learn more about it.
Sure.
Okay, I'll go to the next one then.
All right, thank you.
So our last presentation tonight is a request for a special use permit. It's at the intersection of Cascade Palmetto and Teal Road. So our zoning ordinance allows campgrounds in AG1 with the special use permit. So the site is already zoned AG1. The applicant is applying for a special use permit to allow the campgrounds. The future land use for this is rural neighborhood. And we'll go to our next slide. This is a screenshot of their site plan. So it looks like the entrance will be here at the intersection of Teal Road and Cascade Palmetto. And then they have some additional amenities here also. So Bruce, do you want to walk us through your site plan?
Sure. Thanks, Marissa. Basically a campground, for people to come and do recreational activities. Like you described, the entrance to the south there off of Teal Road, looking at putting in amenities for the campers, such as a playground, dog park, swimming pool, probably an arcade, a little general store, those sorts of things. Some nature trails, walking trails, and then have the whole area completely landscaped with trees, shrubs, just to provide kind of like a rural, private getaway for families to come and enjoy, the different activities that are in the area.
Okay, great. So as you can see, this is surrounded by some areas that are pretty heavily wooded. And the future land use is rural neighborhood, which is designed for agricultural uses and single family homes. And then as you can see, the zoning is AG1 and it has AG1 around it also. And were there any questions on this one? That's our last presentation. Hold on just a second. Okay, I have another site plan. If we can circle back really quickly to the other warehouse. Okay, so do you want to walk us through this, Michelle?
Sure. So what you're seeing now, the building that says zoned M1A, that's the existing facility that's there. It's the building to the front for the proposed building where they're going to be building this sort of automated racking and storage system. It will not be occupied with people, it will just be equipment. And that building's proposed to go 15 feet over the district height. And then that area where you were showing with the trees, that's the proposed trailer parking area. And then we are adding, because of the security at this site, they are adding another road to the rear of the property that will be the public access to the building. And that current entrance there that's off of Great Southwest, that'll just be for employees and people at the facility. All the public access will be from that new driveway to the rear.
How often do they have the public visiting here? If it's a
They
bar?
do not, this is a secure facility. The public cannot get into this facility.
Okay, but okay, so maybe I misunderstood when you said there was a public access.
Well, I mean, like if they do have, let's just say they have a customer meeting or something like that, and people are invited to come, then there's a gatehouse that will be moved to that location. So that access point will be that new roadway to the rear. The existing driveway will just be for trucks and for people making deliveries to the building. I mean, you can always still go to the building, but there's a guardhouse.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Mr. West, did you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think you did a pretty good job. Basically, it doesn't need any rezoning. It's just a use permit. It fits well within the rural area that's out there. I know they have a lot of like equestrian riding, nature trails and stuff. So I think this will be a very good addition to the community and to the city.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for your time. And like I mentioned at the beginning of our meeting, we haven't done any real analysis on these yet because we just got the application. We're still discussing them and reviewing them, so look out for the staff reports later. This is just kind of a presentation to show the community the applications that we got in. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you, Marissa. Good night.